Hi there, this is Gina with Gina's Crafting Spot here on YouTube, and today I'm making a congratulations card. And I am going to start with a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper tray ink blue cardstock, and I am just going to cut this in half. Let's do it long ways. So at the 8.5 side, we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. Now we have 2 card bases. I need a new blade on that. Alright, so we get 2 card bases out of it. So now I'm just going to take this small Martha Stewart scoreboard and score it at 5 1/2 right in the middle. And it takes a couple passes because this cardstock is so thick. And I have some, I don't know, I must have touched the black ink and got it on here, but that's okay because it's going to be covered. So this rough edge I'm just going to trim with my super duper little box cutter. Alright, that's perfect. Now what I'm going to do is work on my focal image, and my focal image is going to be, probably it's not available anymore, but it's a set from Stampin' Up! Called Sweet Treats, and it has like a cute, yeah, I did have ink on me. It has a birthday cake. I guess this is what happens when you put it on the thing for too long. Anyway, there's this cake, like wedding cake I'm going to be using, or anniversary I'm going to use it for. And then these other 2, I don't know if it's still available, but I think they're super cute. So I wanted to use this, and I'm going to take a piece of white paper tray ink cardstock and use some StazOn, because I'm going to be coloring it in. And I'm just going to stamp, or ink this up rather, a little closer so you can see. Make sure I get it all covered. Then I have my white, and I'm going to be cutting it out, so it doesn't matter that this is all cut. So I'm going to do a couple of them because I'm going to make a couple cards probably. So here's one, Perfect Impression, and I'll do this other one. And I'm using the paper tray ink because I'm going to use the paper tray ink as a layer, so I want the whites to match and the thicknesses to match, just because that's how I like it. And then later I'll clean this with my StazOn cleaner. So next, what I'm going to do with this is I got this at one of the expos. It's like just a giant color, or a giant block, and it came with Crayola markers. But I use it for this. So instead of using my stamping block, I just use this big thing. That's my ink. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Sky Close to My Heart color. And you'll see at the end it looks pretty good with that card base I chose. It goes enough. So I just splotched some on there. And I add some water, not too much. Well, that was kind of a lot, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush, doesn't matter what kind, these are just some that I've had, and just mix it up and just put the color onto here. I don't know how to use Copic markers. I don't have very many at all. I just have a few pinks and some beiges, maybe a gray. So I can't really do much with it. So I decided to do it with ink, because I like to color. It's fun. I love this watercolor look. So I'm not doing any kind of shading or anything like that. And this is kind of dripping because my desk is tilted. It's like a architect desk, or whatever you want to call it, so it's kind of angled up. So my ink is dripping. So I'm just going to color this in. And the other color I'm going to use is also close to my heart, and it's a gray wool color, and I'm just going to use that for the flowers and this bottom ruffle. A little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm going to do this bottom part. Just there lightly. Just wipe off my brush. Just use a wipe because I don't have a glass of water or anything. Alright, so now I'm going to use the gray wool. I'll just try that real quick. A little piece of paper towel. So then the gray, I'm not going to need much at all. A little bit. Again, little spritz. Wish it around. And then for this, since I'm not going to cut out all these little bitty pieces, and I don't really want to stamp and then cover, you know, like let these little pieces stick out, so I'm just going to color them in and then cut out that whole section. So that's it. I'm done. Super easy. And then at the end I might go over it with a wink of Stella or something to make it shiny. Alright, so we're done with this. Next I'm going to take a piece of paper tray and cardstock again, and it's going to be a layer on here. Let me see if I have one already cut. Oh, of course not. Let me see. I have a base here. I'll just cut it. Just cut this in half, and that should be, go out a little. Alright, so I'll just trim it. To 4 by 5 1/4. See if that's 5 1/4. Pretty close. And then I'm going to run this through the Cuttlebug using, I think I'm going to use this Fancy Swirls one to kind of mimic the swirls in the cake. So I'm just going to put this in, try to run it through super fast. And then what I had already done is I took, I'm going to I'm going to put a frame around the birthday cake, and I used one of these scallops. So I went ahead and die cut that through as well, and here it is. And then I ran this through a different folder, script I believe it's called. So this is done. I could go ahead. I think I'm going to add a ribbon because that kind of looks too plain. You know what? Maybe I will. I'm going to stamp congratulations right here on the bottom. I was going to do it on here, but I got ahead of myself and went ahead and embossed it. So I will put it on the bottom here. And this is a congratulations from, I don't even know what set it's from. Just one that I got at an expo. It has a bunch of different sayings. Happy birthday, best wishes. Just, you know, not not the high grade. But they still work really well. Okay, so got that on the bottom. I missed a little and I could always just go back and fill it in with a black marker. So I have that, so I'm gonna have to trim this off a little. Or maybe I'll use a scallop. I broke my scallop punch. We'll have to use another one. How about this? This is a Martha Stewart one. I think it's really pretty. I'll check for the name in a sec. It's Double Scallop, Icky Success Martha Stewart. Alright, so that will go there. I'm going to trim a little off the top just so it fits a little bit better. And then, like I said, I'd already cut this out. That'll work just fine. And I'm going to get a little piece. No, you know what? I was going to put ribbon, but I think that'll be too much because it's already really busy. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to adhere these pieces and then I will just show you the last steps. So, as you saw, I went ahead and colored extra adhesive because it is, I'm putting extra adhesive the way it is in balls. So you saw I made this, right? So then all you're going to do is fussy cut it. And I didn't want to have you watch me do that. So I just used one of the ones I had done earlier, and when it dries it's a little lighter. So you can see it matches perfect with that cardstock. And then I'm going to add this scallop. And it is, I don't know what it's called. Lacy Duals, I think, Spellbinders. And then I just put some foam tape on the back to give it a little more dimension and separate the layers. Make sure I get this straight as I can. Then yeah, like I said, all I did was with some, you want to use some fine tip small scissors, and I just fussy cut all around. Obviously leave the black because that's your border. So I just went all the way around, and then when I was done, the edges were white. So all I did was take a marker and went around the edges. Sorry. Well, here's one of these I could just use. And then you just go around the sides to cover up any white that you have there. Okay? And then, well, while I have it out, let me just go ahead and fill this in right here. And then I'm gonna add my focal image and just take off the sticky I put in the back of this. And that will do it. And then obviously depending on what occasion it is, this could be anniversary, wedding, anything. So that, let me try, I don't know if I have any more of this. I like went through this Wink of Stella pen like crazy. I'm just gonna put a little sparkle on it. Yeah, I'm almost out. what? I think it needs a little something else. I have a ton of pearls. Maybe I'll just add some pearls somewhere. I love pearls. They're so pretty. I don't have any teensy ones though. These are kind of small, so I'll use these. I think I got them at the expo. I'll just take something sharp to poke it up. Not even these I could just pick up, they're big enough. So I'm gonna put a couple in here. Okay, here's my quick stick, this piece, this flat back part. Let's put a couple there. And maybe I'll put a few down here. Just put 3. Maybe more. No, it's not supposed to be an even amount, but that's all I have room for. Alright, so that will do it for this card, and I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.